Determined to ensure Superman's ultimate sacrifice was not in vain, Zack Snyder's Justice League cut is far better than the 2017 Justice League cut we have. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I will be reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League movie. This is going to be spoiler-free as well, as possible. So this is the Snyderverse. This movie basically sets up all the different universes that they were going to originally do with Zack Snyder. That's why they call it the Snyderverse. We should have gotten this in the first place. This story is split into 6 parts, and with a 30-minute epilogue. So, the runtime is 4 hours. It's a little long, but it makes the movie so much better. The movie is easier to follow, and the characters are a lot better as well in this. So this is the movie we should have originally gotten. Whether they tried to cut it into 2 different movies, Justice League Part 1, Justice League Part 2, they could have even done something like that to make it, about 2 hours each. But this is the movie we should have gotten. The 2017 version was, I believe, 2.5 hours, and it was so chopped up that it was kind of hard to follow. The character development on everybody was just really not there. But we'll get into that a little bit later, too. So we start out the movie with the scream that's heard around the world. We see the death of Superman, and his scream travels across the entire world, waking up 2 of the mother boxes. So this is already kind of a better explanation than the 2017 Justice League. And I can't even really remember that one very well because I've only seen it once because it was mediocre to okay at best. I just thought that it was very choppy, and it was a little hard to follow. This brings a much more menacing and well-rounded Steppenwolf to the table as well. His intent is to bring the 3 mother boxes together in order to appease his master, Darkseid. So this already, Steppenwolf in this looks far better. His character is actually more fleshed out in this as well. We get to see really what his motivation is for coming to Earth to find the 3 mother boxes. And we also see him communicate with one of Darkseid's lieutenants there. I believe it's a lieutenant. He's one of the 3 that we see towards the end of the movie. And, this is just so much more rounded out. Excuse me. In this version, we get a lot of screen time dedicated to all the characters. And we get to see, a new character introduced as well to this, which I thought was fantastic. And the way they did it was fantastic as well. We get better character development as well, as them giving the characters room to breathe in this. This whole movie had more room to breathe. Even though it was cut into basically, 6 chapters, there was more room to breathe in this. We get way better screen time for everybody. It's not chopped up like the 2017 version, where you've only get a quick backstory from Alfred for each of Cyborg and the Flash. We shouldn't even call him the Flash though, because that's not his name yet in this. Barry Allen's character. So really, we get the screen time for both Cyborg and Flash alone make their characters' backstories that much better, and the characters themselves are a little bit better. They both kind of started out a little annoying. Cyborg's super brooding. He's mad about being turned into Cyborg, and for his dad saving him. But towards the end of the movie, that goes away. I actually enjoyed Cyborg's performance, and I enjoyed the Flashes as well. I didn't think by the end of this, they were really annoying at all anymore. So I really like that. And plus, Jason Momoa in this as Aquaman is so badass. He's like the Thor version for Marvel. You know what I mean? He drinks. He has no like allegiances. He doesn't like want to save the environment or things like that. He's just out to help people, you know, and that is really apparent in the fishing village when Bruce Wayne goes at first. So each of the scenes we get in this are similar to the 2017, but they're not. They're subtly changed. Like there's dialogue missing from certain scenes that were put in the 2017 version, and there's like no convenient drawings on walls for Bruce Wayne to ask questions about. He's like, 25 grand right here instead of 15, and then 30 to tell him what the boxes mean and all this. And he's just like straight 25 grand to put me in touch with the Aquaman, and they're all like, nope, get out. So I thought this was overall a way better for all the characters. Versus the 2017, because it was just a lot longer and it just made more sense. You know what I mean? The characters were far better to follow, and they were far more likable as well. This film has a more action-oriented story as well. And overall, like, the action sequences were really fun to watch. Like, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, she interrupts a group of guys from blowing up 4 city blocks at a bank, right? And even though we get some really slow-mo action sequences in this whole thing was fantastic. Fast-paced, too, because they went back and forth as she's blocking bullets and she's taking out the bad guys, quick or slow. We really get to see, like, her stand out in this. And it was really fantastic to watch her kick some ass. I mean, it was like really watching Wonder Woman. Like I was at the bank with everybody being like, oh my God, Wonder Woman's here to save us. Sweet. I absolutely loved it. And to be honest with you, I think some of the best action sequences in this were hers. Like, by far, were hers. She was in, like, all the actions, quite a few of the action sequences, but, like, her performance for these action sequences, I think went to her, really. They were just fantastic. The epilogue in this brings a great cliffhanger, and it sets up more movies and the Snyderverse itself. As we get to see different characters like Darkseid and like his lieutenants, and it sets up really for them to bring in the actual Justice League headquarters too. So I thought this was fantastic overall. The effects in this were amazing, but they weren't great either. They weren't like extremely polished. This only had a 4.3 aspect ratio. Not really sure why, but that's the way they went for it. We get a better looking Steppenwolf, and as well as like Darkseid. We actually get to see him, some of his other like lieutenants with him and things like that. And another character that they bring in too, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the effects in this were still amazing, but they weren't extremely polished because they didn't want to spend the full amount of money to do a full movie like they should have originally before Snyder's daughter passed away. And that was another reason why he did step away from the project. And I mean, that's completely understandable. I mean, there's just no way you couldn't, with the tragedy that befell his family. So that's, I can't believe they would just bring some guy in, I can't even remember what his name is, Whedon or something. And he just literally butchered the movie on the poor guy. That was just such a bad move on their part, and it was a flop. People didn't really like it. It wasn't really that good. It was like Batman versus Superman. That wasn't really that good either. That should have been 2 completely separate movies. The first half of Batman versus Superman was about Superman being vilified and people being scared of him. That should have been the Man of Steel 2. That should have been split and made as the Man of Steel 2. And then Batman versus Superman should have been its own separate movie where they actually were going up against each other. And instead of trying to make it one full movie, which didn't work, you know what I mean? That wasn't as good as it could have been. I did think it was okay, but it wasn't as good as it could have been, I thought. The acting wise in this was fantastic again. There wasn't a single person in this movie that got shortchanged for screen time or character development. I mean, we really get to see Arthur's character, Aquaman, get really more, better screen time and better character development. We get to see Cyborg, the Flash, Batman. They all have backstories pertaining to like fathers, and like Bruce Wayne though, both his parents were killed when he was younger, and he witnessed it. But you have like Aquaman who has a father that is a human, and a mother who's an Atlantean. We get the Flash, whose father is accused of murdering his mother. And the cyborg, his father brought him back, and made him a whole new body so he could live. I mean, so each of the backstories were flushed out a little more, a lot better. Nobody gets shortchanged. Again, Steppenwolf, he had a way better backstory. We actually got to see his reasons for going to Earth and getting the mother boxes. This sets up, again, the Snyderverse in a way we haven't seen before, and I think it's awesome. This movie literally sets up more movies to come with different characters. And I thought this was outstanding and a triumph. I mean, we get to see these characters in a way that isn't choppy or forced, Even the humor in this that they do a little bit of isn't forced. Honestly, I would give this at least a 7 or 8.5 out of 10, easily. This was a fantastic movie to watch. The fact that it was cut in chapters made it even better. It was way more easy to follow. And you don't even have to watch it in a full 4 hours. It took me a couple days to get through it because I had, I was doing other stuff as well. But I thought it was fantastic where you could leave right off for this. So if you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and also subscribe, as I'll be doing more content each week. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this Snyder Cut version. Take care for now, everybody.